Hello everyone, new camera, so it means that I'm going to now be able to make videos like I did back in 2011, which means that you're going to get sick and tired of seeing me. So anyway, I wanted to start off with doing a video on the whole Star Wars thing, where Disney have bought over Lucasfilm, and I think, as far as I can see, all of the franchises that are owned by Lucasfilm themselves. So while some people are concerned about the whole Indiana Jones thing, Disney have said that they're actually not really interested in it, which surprises me. The big news has been that there are going to be 3 new Star Wars films. Now, back in the 80s, back in the day, I always remember reading and hearing about the fact that Star Wars was meant to be a 9-film saga. That was supposed that the films that we had seen, New Hope, Empire Strikes Back, Return of the Jedi, that they were the middle of the story, that we were going to see the 3 prequels, and then we were going to see 3 films set after Return of the Jedi. In fact, Mark Hamill has even been on record as saying that George had said to him, we'll come back in 25 years and we'll do films about a sort of older Luke Skywalker who is going to be this sort of Obi-Wan character by that time. Now, we haven't seen that yet, and as usual with George Lucas, here's the thing. George, dear George, he always changes his mind. He always changes what he says. He always goes back in what he says in terms of his films. It's really quite extraordinary how often he has flip-flopped and changed his mind. And yeah, it's his money, it's his franchise, it's his work, so he's free to do that. But it has been quite annoying as a fan. Now, here's the thing. After he finished Revenge of the Sith, he said that was it. There wasn't going to be any more Star Wars films. There was going to be a Star Wars TV series. And then we've waited years for that. It's not really happened. We had Indiana Jones 4, which I still stand by it when I say that it's an okay adventure film. It is terrible compared to the other Indiana Jones movies, but it's an okay adventure film if you take it on its own. But part of the franchise, it was a massive letdown. And the 3 Star Wars prequels, were just, well, Phantom Menace and Attack of the Clones. Attack of the Clones especially I found really, really boring. And I'll probably do a review of these films at some point. Revenge of the Sith, I think there are a lot of good things in it, but it's still a bit of a mess of a film. The reason for that is that it should have, the story we saw in Revenge of the Sith should have been what played out over all 3 of the prequel films. That's why we finally got to the 3rd film. We got to see the story that we wanted to see, but they had to cram everything in, and it's a cluttered movie because of that. Whereas, they should have started with Star Wars 1 should have been Anakin as a grown man, probably already a Jedi or becoming a Jedi, and go from there. But they didn't do that. Anyway, so because of all these things, a lot of fans have been really let down, and there's also been the whole trolling of the Star Wars franchise by special editions, touch-ups, re-releases, and the fact that it doesn't seem to want us to watch the original theatrical versions, which are the best versions, hands down, and they are the versions that we fell in love with. And I think all we've had so far is we've had a limited release of it, and it's not been like a cleaned up image or anything like that. We want a restored original theatrical cut of the original trilogy. Anyway, so now apparently we're going to get 3 Star Wars films, and George Lucas isn't really going to be involved to a great degree. Now, I read somewhere that he has given like a sort of story arc, where he's given a story idea of what he kind of wants to see over the 3, and then we have the script writers that have come in. One of the script writers is from Toy Story 3, I think. Lawrence Kasdan, is that his name? Yeah, I think he's involved as well. I think he helped write Empire Strikes Back, if I remember rightly, or Return of the Jedi. And he was also involved in the Indiana Jones franchise, so that's really good. But it's going to be under the stewardship of Disney, essentially. And they're doing, they bought Marvel, and they did a great job with likes of the Avengers and stuff like that. But they also have struggled with things like the Pirates of the Caribbean. So with franchises, they've been a bit hit and miss. I, for one, as someone who loves the original trilogy, I'm delighted that Lucasfilm has been sold in some ways. I'm delighted that that Disney are going to make new Star Wars films. And I'll tell you why. The reason is Star Wars is dead to me, right? That's the reason why I'm happy someone else is coming along, because as far as I'm concerned, the damage was already done. When we look back in hindsight, the prequels really destroyed the mythos of the original trilogy by bringing in midichlorians and all this nonsense, trying to explain the Force away in a very scientific way, whereas it was meant to be something in the original trilogy. The thing that was great about watching it as a kid was that it was like anybody can have the Force, you know. And by the time at the end of the third film, in the original trilogy, it was like, well, only the chosen few can. And that takes away a lot of the magic for the kids watching the movie in the first place. Anyway, so I think the franchise was already dead. It already died a death. And I really wasn't looking forward to any more Star Wars content. I wasn't looking forward really to another Indiana Jones. Well, that's maybe a little bit of a lie. Probably was. For the main reason being that Spielberg's there. Spielberg has his critics. He is hit and miss. But I still think he's a good director, and I hope that if they did a fifth Indiana Jones film, it would be good. But unfortunately, I don't think it's going to happen now by the looks of it. But certainly, Star Wars is happening, and I'm delighted because it is dead. And if Disney want to do something with it, then the worst thing that can happen is that they bring out 3 shit films. That's the worst thing that can happen. They bring out 3 crap films. And to me, that's not going to tarnish Star Wars any more than it already has been tarnished. So all that can happen on a positive sense is that they actually manage to reinvigorate the franchise. And if they bring out 3, and I'm not even talking about great films, if they bring out 3 good films, then I think it balances Star Wars again. It's then like kind of like you look at Star Wars, you look at the original trilogy, you know, 3 great films, and then if you had 3 decent films, good films from Disney, and Revenge of the Sith, while it has flaws, is decent, then really you're only talking about 2 poor films that bring the franchise down. So it will address the balance, and that's not a pun about the whole addressing the balance of the Force or anything like that, so please don't go there. It readdress the balance of in terms of quality for the series. So I think the whole Disney thing is a great idea. So what do you guys think? Are you sick and tired of it? Do you not care? Do you not want to see any Star Wars films whatsoever? Or are you like me and you're thinking, well, do you know what? It can't be worse than Attack of the Clones. It can't be worse than that. So hopefully the only way is up. Let me know in the comment section below, and check out the Facebook page, and I'll be back soon with another video. Bye for now.